What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? I'm the Godless engineer, and I critically analyze apologists' claims to give you the best arguments and information so that you can stand up and use your voice. Today's video is very special though because it comes to you from the Skeptic Mafia. If you guys don't know who the Skeptic Mafia is, it's the memberships here on the channel. There are several different levels that you can join at, but in order to get this podcast in its full length, you have to become at least a mafioso. Normally the podcasts range from about 30 minutes to an hour long, and they generally post every single week. Normally during the podcast, what we'll do is we may go over some current events that have been going on, but the real meat of it are the crazy corner videos. These are crazy religious and or political videos. Of course, here recently, it's been a lot more political. Today's video is on Jesse Lee Peterson. He is apparently very, very mad about a bunch of women being elected by Republicans. Because as we all know, Jesse Lee Peterson is the master misogynist. This is only one segment out of about 6 this week. So if you want to see how crazy it gets over on the Skeptic Mafia, you're just going to need to go to joinskepticmafia.com or smash that join link below this video. Alright, heathens, I hope that you enjoy this small segment of the Skeptic Mafia podcast. All right, mafiosos. Well, first we're going to head into the Jesse Lee Peterson, our favorite power bottom, Jesse Lee.
Beta.
So apparently Jesse Lee Peterson has a problem with women. I don't know if you guys know this, but he is a rampant misogynist.
Who's surprised?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
No one here is raising their hands.
We're the only ones in our apartment.
You know what? They didn't have to know that.
Okay. All right, well, let's listen to Jesse Lee Peterson be just a...
Dick?
A douchebag. Douche canoe.
GOP chairwoman Rhoda McDaniel tweeted yesterday, Republican women were responsible for defeating 10 of the 13 House Democrat incumbents. The Republican Party is in an even stronger position for the future. That's a lie. They need to get rid of Rhoda McDonough, she's a liar. They have weakened the party by putting all these women in charge. The strength is not in the women, it's in the men, those who return to the Father. The Republican Party is going downhill fast because they are emulating the Democratic Party. They're not doing what's best and what's right. They're trying to prove something to the Democrats. The Democrats get a bunch of women, well, the Republicans got to get a bunch of women. Following Satan right into hell. You got to live to regret this. Rhoda McDonough is not the one that should be running the Democratic Party or whatever she's doing. Chairwoman. This woman's blind and crazy.
I like how he hints it. He hints it with, she shouldn't be doing that. She a woman. Also, Ronald McDonald.
After he calls her Ronald McDonald. Oh my God. I feel like he's a little bit illiterate. Like a little.
Yeah, maybe.
He has a really hard time. Well, a really hard time reading.
I think if anybody here is weakening the Republican Party, it's Jesse Lee. It's Jesse Lee Peterson.
Oh my God. I also love how first of all, this is very stupid. Putting women in positions of authority or political power is not weakening the party. There is no reason to believe that it is. If you think strength is in the men, by all means, men have babies. See how far we get in this society.
Oh, fuck this shit. I ain't doing it again. God damn it.
No. Like, women go through so much shit. We are strong. Like, we are really strong, and we can put up with a lot of shit. You know?
Yeah.
So that's just ridiculous. But I love how he was like, the strength is in the men, the ones that return to the Father. So only men go to heaven. I wonder if like Jesse Lee Peterson's version of heaven is a giant sausage party.
I mean, I really don't know what he means by that. By returning to the Father, does that mean going to heaven? I mean, I could see that being taken one way, but I mean,
can you think of another way to... Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the mic. Can you think of another way to take it? That's the only thing I can think that it might mean.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if maybe he's like... Because later on he mentioned something about women following Satan, and I think that that's an allusion to like Eve eating the fruit or whatnot and being deceived by Satan,
which
and
would mean that all women are satanic and all men return. Well, not all men, but all women certainly are satanic, and then men who return to the Father are the ones they should be putting in power.
You think this is why he retweeted gay porn?
I don't think he retweeted. I think he just liked it.
Maybe he liked it. Whatever.
I think he just liked it.
It showed up on his timeline. I think. I mean, it's like I only like things that return to the Father. Oh, he likes that kinky shit on Pornhub, huh?
I mean, so generally, men who are like this are extremely intimidated by women. So, for one reason or another, so they have to put on this like persona of women are weak and awful and satanic and men are strong and wonderful and we're superior. And they have to put on this front because they're intimidated and scared of women. Yeah, well, I mean, to be quite honest, anybody that can speak clearly is probably going to intimidate Jesse Lee Peterson. Also, if your mouth doesn't look exactly like an asshole, I think you're going to intimidate Jesse Lee Peterson. He talks, the way he talks makes me think that his mouth got transplanted with an asshole. Oh, I thought you were talking about Trump's mouth.
No.
Because Trump's mouth straight up looks like a chocolate starfish.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm talking about Jesse Lee Peterson here. When you hear him...
I notice.
Well, I mean, when you hear him talk, I mean, it's like he's got
It sounds like he's talking through a butthole.
Right. Well, I mean, no, I mean, it's like he's got the smallest fucking mouth in the entire goddamn world. And he's trying to talk through it. I mean...
He opens his mouth. I think he just has a speech impediment, which is fine. If he has a speech impediment, okay, I'm not making fun of that. It's sometimes you have trouble with names, but Ronna or Rona McDaniel, like whether you say it Ronna or Rona, whatever, but he couldn't say, it's not a hard name. First of all, you may pronounce it wrong because I don't even know how to pronounce her first name. I think it's Rona McDaniel, but it looks like Ronna McDaniel. Mm-hmm. But it's not hard to say either way. And he, like, tripped the fuck over it. Maybe he's just drunk. Does he drink? Is he, like...
I don't know. I doubt it. Like, hardcore fundamentalists like Jesse Lee Peterson...
he's probably not drunk.
But
here's the thing. Hardcore fundamentalists, they go and do, like, gay orgies and stuff. So, like, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you think about the larger discussion on the Republican Party electing more women to office? You think that's a good thing?
Of course I think it's a good thing. I mean, Congress, and not just Congress, but governors and state legislatures and all kinds of, any position of power, companies, there are very few female CEOs. Women need to be more represented. Now, I think it's interesting, one of the things Ruth Bader Ginsburg had said, because she was asked about how many women were on the Supreme Court and how if there were more women than men, if that would be unfair. And she was like, no, there should be 9 women. There's been 9 men this whole time.
Right.
And so like, I don't necessarily think there should be no men in positions of representation, but I definitely think that women should be represented. One of the most amazing things about this presidential election, or just this election cycle for me, was that we're going to have a female vice president. Mm-hmm. That's fucking huge.
Yeah.
It's huge and it's amazing. And like, I love that there are more women. We also had our first elected trans person.
Mm-hmm.
So that was awesome. There are gay members of Congress. There are non-religious members of state legislatures. I mean, we're starting to see more representation. Certainly there is more representation of diversity within the Democratic Party. Or the Democrat Party, but in the Republican Party, they have a really hard time with that because Republicans tend to be like Jesse Lee Peterson here. Well, that's not fair. Not all of them are as, crazy as him, but they tend to be more on the traditional side where women, are
objects.
Aren't for some
people.
of them. No, they should be in more of a submissive role. They should not be in positions of power. And so it's great to see more Republican women, I guess. But to be honest, I much would have rather them be Democrats.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather them be Democrats too, but I am glad that the Republican Party is voting more women into office because, I mean, I feel like that, at least in some sense, means not the Republican Party can come back from the fucking Trump crazy shit that's been going on.
I don't know. I mean, they're probably almost all white.
I probably, yeah.
I mean, I still think the Republican Party is shit.
Yeah.
And I do think we're going to see a significant fracture in the Republican Party. I don't know when it's going to happen, but the Trump Republicans, I mean, they're already actually talking about this, forming their own political party just based around Trump.
Right.
But it's going to be tough. I mean, the Republican Party is going to have to get their shit together. Like, they're going to have to actually create a platform because right now the platform of the Republican Party is whatever the fuck Trump wants. Mm-hmm. Well, Trump is going to be gone come January 20th, and they have no platform.
Right.
Because this year's the RNC, they didn't do one. Just whatever Trump wants. Mm-hmm. That is just bananas. It still blows my mind. I can't believe they did it. So I don't know if the Republican Party can come back. They're fucking destroying themselves. And if once we get to some of these later ones, if they think that they're going to come up with some kind of revolution, they are going to have a hard time.
Yeah. And I don't know exactly what they're going to do. I feel like their bark is worse than their bite, but we'll have to see.
That was a hot take by Jesse Lee Peterson, huh? I don't see how he can be mad about more Republicans being voted in just because they're women. Of course, he's a misogynist. Thank you, heathens, so much for joining us today. If you will, please leave us a comment down below. We'd love to hear what you guys think. While you're down there, why don't you click that like button and smash that subscribe. And hey, if you like this video, definitely join the Skeptic Mafia if you haven't already done so. As always, heathens, don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.